What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Solid Gap Sports. Today, we're headed back to the swing coach. It's our third installment, and I've been working my butt off. I hope you have been too. Ben's been giving us some great tips on the last two episodes. I think this episode is going to give some of our best tips yet, so don't miss out. Grab a pen and paper and get ready.
Lift up like this, it's going to get you a little bit more power, but now you got to make sure your timing catches back up. So you can widen your stance just a little, and then from there you get more of an upper body turn to turn back instead of going like that. Trying to takeaway is good and everything, you're just trying to rip through it pretty fast.
Okay.
So remember, it's that same thing. If our feet kind of right in that same line, what you're doing now is that when you're finishing. So then you're kind of falling back. Instead of, we're still just pushing, but this side, your lead foot, you can flare it a little bit, but we don't want to end up turning like that, because that's going to keep your weight a little bit back. Sorry. Still just a little bit, but we'll get it back. There's to kind of work on a little bit more, is just to get a little bit more of a turn. Because it does seem like sometimes you're kind of just picking straight up from here. So when you're doing that, you can really only drop it straight down instead of coming right back in the slot. So that's where consistency is going to be a little bit different. So let's just work on feeling like we're dragging it back, kind of getting your back to the target, and then we're hinging the wrists. Better takeaway, yeah, just slow it down. It's going to feel like your timing's way off, because now, we've talked about it before, you're adding a different feel to it, where you're used to when you're right here, you're already starting something, instead of getting a little bit more turn and then just letting gravity take over. You're loading up like a spring, which is what you're supposed to do. So if I wind you up and turn, I don't have to push forward to let you get back to the starting point. It's just going to release like a spring. So yeah, once you get to where you can't turn anymore, just like let gravity take over and get you back to the ball. All right, I'm going to give you a positive with that, though.
You always do.
That was like exactly what we want to do with the takeaway. The only thing, again, and that's why I was saying, try to watch your feet on the downswing. Because that was just you're coming up out of it, and you literally just went. Boop. Everything is staying down through impact. Good thing about hitting off a mat, you can't really chunk it. So I don't care if you try to hit down and you hit a little bit behind it. We just got to get you back into the habit of staying down through impact. It's okay. Stay down on it, and then you kind of slow down. So remember we were talking about that before with the deceleration? Yeah. But I think right now what's going to help all that is, again, trying to get it where your feet, you're pushing off as opposed to trying to turn. Because I think you're trying to get your hips, which isn't a bad thing. You're trying to fire them so quick that you're not really thinking about the swing and staying in it. You're just trying to turn, and it's throwing everything else kind of out of rhythm. There we go, much better. It's just trying to find that feel. There we go. That's the tempo. Alright. Those ones that you're hitting good, they're 1, 2. So just find something. Find so that you're not just focused on like, I gotta hit, I gotta stay down, I gotta do this. Literally. Mat, hand. You can do, like literally, do anything. Check it, man. All right, it's just a little quick on the downswing, right? That's all that was. There we go. And I see a lot of amateur golfers where they'll do it and they line up so far on the heel, especially with the driver or the 3-wood and stuff, and then they wonder why they either hit these fades, because they're coming across it and they have to cut across to get back to the center of the club. Or if they have a really inside swing, you're just hitting it right on the hosel every single time. There you go. So now you're not rushing to the ball. So, I mean, we talk about it where the easier you swing in, which is why I wanted you to focus on like that 60%, the easier you swing into the ball, you're creating less spin. If you're trying to go in real fast, now that sweet spot, those grooves get smaller because you're coming so much faster into the ball. You're hitting it low, you're hitting it left, right, it's got so much spin. Now all you're doing is you're making a swing. Once you grasp that and you're like, I'm not trying to hit the ball, I'm just trying to make a golf swing, let the club do the work. Dude, I'm not just saying this, but this is the best you've hit in all of our lessons. There you go. Try to get a good, solid contact. And today, you're starting to do that. Perfect. Perfect. There it is, man. All right, hit one more good one with that, and then I want to switch to, we'll hit a few drivers. There we go. So what I like to do with the tee, I like to have half the ball is just over top of the driver.
Okay.
The driver, we want to kind of hit up on it.
And we're lining up.
Same
on the
thing,
toe.
yep, especially with this club.
Okay.
All right, so this one you can widen your stance a little bit more because you want to get a stable bounce.
Okay.
Because this is going to be a longer takeaway. Now this one especially, we want to feel like when you're taking it back, you are dragging that back past this point before you start to break your wrist. Okay. We want to get a wide turn. Feel like when we take it back, you're swinging out to the right. Because we want to attack it and get some of that draw spin on it as opposed to coming over the top, and that's what's going to push it right every time. Again, setup and everything is exactly how we want it to be. You're taking it back here, and then you're this. So if I'm here, when I hit that ball, there is no way I can get that ball to go left. So it's almost feel like, again, we talk about feel like from here, your first move is your arms so that we can try to get them. Once you get back the ball, your hips are going to start firing. You don't need to try to fire through. Just get right there and let them go right through. Better, okay? Here we go. It's more controlled. There you go.
I make a fairway or two.
That's all there is, man.
You're always a man, dude. Thank you very much.
Dude, again, positives. You hit probably 85-90% now of your shots were solid shots today. There wasn't really any tops with the driver. There wasn't shanks. There wasn't anything that was like, oh man, I can't figure this out.